With Peter Fury at the Radisson Hotel in Manchester. This was of course supposed to be a press conference for Fury versus Chisora. Dereck obviously had to pull out. Before that, how have preparations been going, and how have you changed things going into this fight now?
Preparations are going great, very happy. We've had 3 days to adjust, but 3 days is enough. So it's not ideal, we haven't had big sparring. But look, I'm not here to make excuses. If I was going to make excuses, I wouldn't be taking the fight. Tyson's ready. If he's a so-called world champion status as he says he is, and I believe he is, then these type of fighters should not be a problem with 1 hour's notice, never mind 3 days. So that's my mentality. That's where we're at. It's going to be a good fight. I think it could be 3 to 4 rounds till Tyson finds his level and gets into it, because he's had no, like I said, he's had no tall sparring. So he's going to have to really find his own way in this fight and just feel him out and see what, and get the distance and get used to what's happening. Like I said, so basically, I'm looking for Tyson for a cautious start, to have a look at him, weigh him up, don't take any silly chances, and find the range properly. There is no rush. We've got 10 or 12 rounds, whatever it is. He's a late replacement, so let's just have a look. What I'm expecting to see from Tyson is a very disciplined, grown-up, sensible style of boxing, and that's what we're after. But I'm over the moon this fight's made. It's going to be a good fight.
And in terms of Tyson, he's obviously frustrated. It comes across in the press conference with fighters pulling out. How does it come? How are you affected as a trainer with preparing Tyson for these fights, and David Haye pulling out twice and Dereck pulling out now?
The only thing I can say is it is a business as well. I mean, it affects. My main worry is having a 3-month training camp and there's no fight at the end. So now there's a fight, I'm happy. Regardless of whether it's big money, little money, that's not my concern. I'm happy that Tyson is fighting again, because that's my job, to get him fights. So basically, we've all got together, thanks to Frank Warren, Nick Hennessy, Bill Ives, like I said, and we've got this fight back on within 3 days of Dereck pulling out with his hand. So that's where we are. If Dereck genuinely pulled out with his hand, you know, sorry to hear it, you know, these guys, I do believe Dereck will fight anyone. You know, so let's just see where we are. Hopefully we can get this fight back on. You know, but I'm happy that his promotion has stepped in and put this fight back on.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the Fury versus Chisora fight, it was going to be an eliminator. Number one, the guy who won was going to become mandatory for a title. What's next after this fight? Could we see Tyson go to fight for a world title after this, or will it be most likely fighting against Dereck Chisora?
Well, yeah, you know, that's a final eliminator, isn't it? So that's where we are. But look, world titles are only going to come, and it's signed on the dotted line. Until then, we don't know. So therefore, this is what I've always said. Tyson needs to fight. As long as he's fighting, you know, look, frig the world titles. We'll fight for a world title tomorrow if it can be made. But I'm not into getting into the politics and leaving my fighter on the sidelines to say I can do this, I can do that without fighting. So as long as he's boxing, I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely. And you've got another one of your fighters on the undercard of this show on Saturday, Eddie Chambers. How have preparations been going with Eddie?
Absolutely fantastic. Eddie's ready, and he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think anybody really in boxing understands the level that Eddie, the skill he's got. But he's definitely a big threat in the heavyweight division. He's weighing for this fight, I think just around 16 stones, 124, 224, 225 pounds, and he's in incredible shape. And he's punching very, very hard as well.
Yeah. And what could we expect to see from Eddie for the remainder of this year and heading into 2015?
Well, we're just trying to make big fights as we speak. There could be a fight in Canada against a guy for the NABF title. We're trying to make that at the moment. We're told that's in strong negotiations, so we're trying to make that fight. So if he gets that, he could be the NABF champion by the end of the year, which puts him in all the top 10 governing bodies. So that's a fight we're trying to make.
Sure. And Hughie, when can we likely see Hughie back out in action?
I'm expecting Hughie to have all clear by the 14th of August. That's when he goes back for his final checkups. He's responding to the treatment very well. He's got rid of all the spots on his body. His copper levels are all normal now. His adrenal glands, everything's back to normal. His hormonal balance has got to come up a little bit more. The liver's got to function properly, and The last time we looked 3 weeks ago, he has 30% left in his body. So like I said, he's improving all the time. We had his blood results come back yesterday, and they come back clear. So we're very optimistic that Hughie's going to start some form of mild training after the 14th of August, and you can expect him to be out on Mick Hennessy's show in November.
Oh, that's great news, and thank you so much, Peter.
You're welcome.